Hello everyone. The proposal presented here is in relation to seeking seed funding round B for an application for transportation services e-hailing app. The proposal has been compiled by Kanyisile, Cohen, Maureen, Londani, and Fidel. Digital ride-hailing or e-hailing platforms are reshaping the way we think about personal mobility and work in the transport sector in Africa. As a startup company that produced a successful MVP on a e-hailing app with a 2-year success in the African market, the next phase is to venture into new markets, and we target the continent of Africa. On the continent of Africa, we have selected Nigeria and Kenya, which are both strong economies in Africa with infrastructures that are favorable for successful e-hailing services. Africa is expected to continue becoming profitable for tech companies, and with the UN having already listed Africa as the most profitable region in the world. A report by UN Conference on Trade and Development states that Africa between 2006 and 2011, Africa had the highest rate of return on inflows of foreign direct investment, which was at 11.4% compared to 9.1% in Asia, 8.9% in Latin America and the Caribbean, with the global figures at 7.1%. An e-commerce add-in similar to an open exchange model would be a good fit to feed into the e-hailing business model. This new product offering will provide a solution to an existing issue with the e-commerce market currently faces. To assess the new digital revenues to test will be assessed using a survey, online research to fit the target market with the criteria for success, which will consist of both external and internal elements. The new markets that we are targeting, that we have selected, are Nigeria and Kenya. And Nigeria, why Nigeria? We see it as a new market to venture into. It's because Nigeria is one of the major economies in Africa, and the taxi and e-hailing services play an important role in the movement of the people. The country vehicle to population ratio is 60 vehicles per 1,000 people, which shows the need for public transport. 41% of the vehicles in the circulation are privately owned. And Nigeria has infrastructures and internet connectivity, which would be easy for a digital platform. And Nigeria has currently a growing e-hailing industry, which will be easy to set into a new service and a new product. Kenya, on the other hand, is also one of the strongest economies in Africa, and the transport sector is the second highest contributor to the GDP of the country. And Kenya also has infrastructures that include affordable internet coverage, plus a high smartphone ownership of about 60%. This was as listed in 2018. Currently in Kenya, there is less competition in terms of e-hailing industry. So Kenya fits well as a good market to venture into. For strategies, competitive strategies to make sure that our app succeed in these new markets, we focus on the three main competitive strategies. One is focusing strategies, that with the elements such as customer-centric approach, availability of services across the country, sanctity and the accuracy in pricing and billing, and the communication and feedback. The other approach, competitive strategies that we follow is product differentiation, having an easy-to-use app and a good service, maximizing the performance of the app, and having extra customer support and VIP treatments. And the third one is cost leadership.
Different consumer and business market options. Both new and seasoned e-hailing companies can use the following tips to connect with new customers as well as remain a trusted resource to existing customers. By highlighting our local credibility, Consumers are increasingly looking to support local businesses. So as a local e-hailing company, we are well positioned to attract more consumers with specific branding and through marketing efforts. Second one, advertising on social media. This will help us to attract more customers. Number three, leveraging data and marketing analysis. This will provide us with data to help us measure our marketing efforts as well as deciding which platforms to prioritize. Fourth one, establishing local and broader partnerships. As an e-hailing company, we can offer local businesses partnership incentives like bringing customers to their door. Fifth one, offering loyal benefits. Customers can accumulate points after every trip and qualify for an upgrade. Other options include offering insurance solutions through the e-hailing platform to both drivers and passengers. We can also offer platform incentives for creating value to individuals through financial services. The third one, driving inclusiveness of marginalized social groups and generating broader ecosystem value. This will create an inclusive corporate governance to monitor and measure the value driven towards NGOs, universities, and policymakers. The fourth one, value-added services and niche models, where our e-hailing platform can increasingly offer end-to-end customer experience through the value-added services. Thank you.
Traditional e-hailing services use a multi-sided business model in which they allow drivers and riders to transact. In e-hailing services, the following infrastructure is already available: payment methods via card payments or cash and delivery, pickup options using different vehicles and ride and share, pricing structure for the various levels of cars, for example, luxury and economy. With these metrics already in place, an e-commerce add-in for peer-to-peer transactions would create a feasible model and a solution to a current problem in the pre-owned goods market. The pre-owned goods market, especially clothing, is set to see a 300% growth factor by 2026. The used car industry has already seen an increase of 50% at the beginning of the pandemic. E-commerce sites that focus on the sale of brand new products traditionally have a robust distribution model in place, but marketplaces which specialize in the advertising of pre-owned peer-to-peer products such as Gumtree and Facebook lack the distribution channels required to take these platforms to the next level. Beyond the distribution issue, these platforms also lack a secure payment system. Essentially, the e-hailing app will create an e-commerce platform where peers are not only able to list and sell their unwanted goods, but the e-hailing service will facilitate the payment and delivery of the product. If we look at Standard Bank, they have already launched an escrow platform which promotes a safe procurement products by holding buyer funds until all conditions are met before releasing to the seller. If we take an in-depth look at the process, we see that it starts off with the seller listing the product on the e-hailing platform. The buyer then procures the item by paying funds into the escrow account, including the driver fee. E-hailing driver collects the item from the seller, and the funds get released to the seller because at this stage, the seller passes ownership onto the e-hailing service. Products get delivered to the buyer, and the e-hailing driver gets paid. This new product add-in for the e-hailing service combines an open exchange platform with clear limitations to produce a final, full end-to-end facilitation and delivery service.
How to test a new digital revenue and commercial models in the marketplace. Digital revenue refers to digital income from digital sales. This is derived from commercial models used in the business. A good digital revenue is a proven technique used by digital businesses globally, from startup to global corporation, to generate income from traffic on their website, mobile app, and via digital channels. Testing the new digital revenue will involve the following step. Conduct survey and online research to understand the market and define the commercial models to be used based on the outcome of the survey. The process is to include identifying the problem, defining the problem, establishing objective, design research, implementing research, analyzing data, and report. Test the market by providing few licenses to operators. If there is a positive response from the market, full large-scale launch can be implemented. The general revenue business model, it includes the marketplace business model, which includes subscription, listing fee, freemium, fitted listing and ad, lead-free, mixed, and commission. The revenue models to be used are subscription, commission, mixed, and advertising. The criteria that will be used to judge success. Marketplace have 9 unique success criteria which organizations need to consider operating. It is crucial to consider that the operation of marketplace successfully require organization to apply success criteria across 9 dimensions. The 9 unique success criteria include external success criteria, which comprises of multi-sided economic value, hyper-relevant stakeholder engagement and success, and inclusion and sustainability. The internal success criteria, which consist of comments, enablers, commons, ecosystem, talent and culture, technology, and artificial intelligence alignment and operating model. Out of the listed success factor, the hauling app can utilize the following success criteria: multi-sided economic value, stakeholder engagement, commerce ecosystem, and technology and artificial intelligence alignment.
The new operating model that will be implemented in the e-hailing system in Nigeria and in Kenya. According to Kwan, leaders revisit their 5-year plans every quarter in order to reinvent their companies. The answer remains to be competitive in a large scale, according to the global transformation. There is a big need to ensure that the digital transformations are in place, and this will require a change in the operating models. A successful transformation realigns the organization to a singular vision. The organization needs to align the value with the strategy, and this will be driven by the people within the organization as well. A successful supplier in this regard would be a driver that is well equipped with customer service and has good understanding of the e-hailing app. The process. The app billing process would be one that needs to be accurate, and the alignment of the app with the cell phone softwares, e.g., if there is an Android update, an Apple update, those updates should not be able to hamper the success of the app. The e-hailing service providers need to be easily accessible to the commuters and understand the routes that are safe and ensure convenience to the client. This aspect handles the location element. The data collation on the app needs to be able to be one that retains customers through the after experience surveys, discounts for frequent commuters, and as a platform for commuters to provide feedback. This will enable the organization to analyze and reevaluate the service offering. The e-hailing value proposition needs to operate as a multi-sided platform business model. Although primarily it is a transport business, however, the organization needs to look at opportunities if there are other needs that can be offered or aligned for in this kind of business. It needs to grant a superior experience to the customers than the competitors in the water transportation, the railway, and airway that are predominant in Nigeria and in Kenya. A multi-sided business platform, or MSP, as it's mentioned in other literature, gains prominence through the power of the internet. So the IT infrastructure in both countries needs to be able to sustain internet connection in order for the app to operate successfully. The e-hailing service that is multi-sided needs to be able to connect 2 or more participant groups and advocate as an intermediary. And this is the reason why we will look at it, and as time progresses, we will also open opportunities for other businesses to operate within this e-hailing system. Here are the important aspects to consider in an operating model: information, location, organization, supplier, and processes. How are we going to measure success? And this is going to be measured through the key performance indicators. Number 1, the conversion rate. According to Green, the most important key performance indicator when it comes to measuring e-commerce platform is the conversion rate. This metric looks at the number of customers who take action within the platform compared to the visitors. A secure environment or platform for exchange of commercial sensitive information, financial information, and safety of the operators. Achieving the critical mass, which is sufficient number of participants for continuous running of the business. Customer experience and satisfaction. Proactively examine our consumers' needs and their consumption habits. Sufficient revenue generation. Gross booking. This is a measure of the total value of all rides booked through the e-hailing platform. This e-hailing business in Nigeria and Kenya would need to analyze if it measures the gross booking on a month-to-month basis or on a quarterly basis. We hope we have granted you sufficient information in order for you to enable us to expand the business to Kenya and Nigeria and also receive the funding. Thank you.